Have you watched the TV series Robin of Sherwood? If you haven't, I would suggest that you actually find that series and watch it. It's a really good series based on Robin Hood's life. The reason I remember that was there's a series I watched growing up, and that is a series which showed me the Stonehenge for the first time. So since the day I saw that, I was in awe with the Stonehenge, and I always wanted to go and visit that. But today I'm going to see a site which is similar to the Stonehenge, but it is in fact 1,000 years older than the Stonehenge. And this is the nice countryside I have to walk through in order to get there. Nice summer evening, although it is a bit overcast. I wonder what this actually, this is corn, I think. There you go. That, I think, is corn. If it is not, if you know what it is, please put a comment below and let me know. But I'm pretty sure it is corn. Right, okay, I think we are closer to the place that I want to get to. That is the place I'm going to see. Coldrum Long Barrow. Not wheelbarrow, Long Barrow. Right, so I want to keep going. So a bit about this historic place. As I mentioned, this is about 1,000 years older than the Stonehenge. So it is a neolithic monument. It is believed that this was used as a burial site. So obviously, because it is 1,000 years older than the Stonehenge, I don't think there's a lot left, but let's go and see anyway. Shouldn't be too far. At least it's a nice walk.
Slide right onto Coldrum Lane.
Okay, that's my GPS asking me to make a slight right. I just wanted to stop and enjoy that view. It's quite awesome. That's a private road. So that's a private road, so I can't go in. I mean, those hills and the fields, it's really nice. I mean, reminds me of another TV series, Little House on the Prairie. Right. Aha, I am close to it now. There it is. So that's the first information board. Coldrum Long Barrow. This monument, unique among a small isolated group in the Medway Valley, in all of which local sarsen stone is used, is a communal burial place built during the Neolithic period, probably in the 3rd millennium BC. Wow. Successive burials, possibly over a long period, are shown by the bones of a family of 22 people of both sexes and various ages dug out of the tomb chamber in 1912. I think it's up here. Right, so I'm gonna go up. Right, let's climb these stairs. And there it is. That is what is left of it, and there's more to it further down. So as I said, obviously this is 1,000 years older than the Stonehenge, so there's not a lot of it left, and that is how it looks like today. So in that period, just like the Stonehenge, obviously not many people know, it is still debatable what Stonehenge was used for, but burial sites like these, where you have a stone structure, where the okay, shut up Google, let me switch that off. So right, so because of the GPS, I lost my train of thought there. So these are places where they used to have stones around, and with a roof over it, and the roof would usually be planted, or it will have a gravel top like that, and then underneath obviously you have the burial chamber. And even today people consider this site to be quite, I would say, sacred. As you can see, people have put various different, I guess, vows. In Sri Lanka, we have this tradition where Buddhists, when they go to a temple, in a temple you would have a bo tree. A bo tree is the tree under which Lord Buddha became enlightened. So every temple in Sri Lanka now has a bo tree, and in bo trees you can see people coming and tying vows like these, or prayers. We call them panduru. So sometimes you would wrap a coin in a cloth and wrap it on a branch like this. So as you can see, people believe in similar things, irrespective of wherever in the world they are, and the traditions are pretty similar. Although it's a different tree and a different kind of site, the beliefs and the traditions seem to be similar. So I'm going to go further down and see what I'm able to see. Right, so I can go further down this, and that, I wonder whether that was the entrance to the chamber, because all of these chambers, they used to have an entrance. And look at that, it looks like something was felled here. I'm not sure how old this is, if this is also a Neolithic stone, and if it was dug out like that, that is pretty impressive. I mean, to dig around a circle like that into a stone during that era is quite impressive. So we can go further down here and explore. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go further down. I think there's more information further down, so let's go and look at it. So that's how it looks from this end. Here is how it used to look. So as I mentioned earlier, you would have these stones around it, and then the roof would be covered in soil, and they have obviously grown grass on top of it. Coldrum Long Barrow is the finest and most complete of the Medway megalithic monuments. Recent scientific dating of the human remains from Coldrum has demonstrated there were two phases of burial within the barrow, beginning in the early Neolithic period, 3985 to 3855 BC, for a period of around 100 years. Wow! With further human remains being placed in the chamber around 200 years or so later. So people have been investigating these monuments since the early 1800s, with the stones no longer being in their original positions. It was at first believed to be a stone circle. Some poorly recorded excavation occurred in 1856 when some pot fragments were found. Benjamin Harrison and Flinders Petrie, I think that's how you pronounce it, amongst others, produced plans and drawings of the site during the late 19th century. More extensive examination of the chamber in 1910 discovered the bones of an estimated 22 men, women and children, plus a shred of pottery and a flint saw. And further bones were found during the excavation in 1922. Many more individuals may originally have been buried within the chamber, but damage to the monument during the medieval period has probably removed much of the evidence. Wow. So as you know, so during this Neolithic period, these burials or these burial sites were sacred places, and there were rituals around it. That is at least what is believed. Obviously, there are no records of what they used to do, but based on the evidence that have been excavated from these sites similar to these sites like the Stonehenge and other sites around it, we know that these burial sites were common, and most of the times uh, people with higher social status, like the chiefs in the tribes, were given more or bigger burial chambers, etc. And so this was again something similar. And also, as you saw when I was coming here, they're still farming around here. So it is believed that this area was still used for farming even during that Neolithic period. So there would have been a huge farming community around here. So having a burial site like this makes sense. Obviously, the people who were buried here probably were from that community, the farming community. So this is how it looked like in 1926. It's quite fascinating to see, to be in a site where, you know, nearly 3,000 years ago, humans would have erected these, and 3,000 years later, I come here and I'm trying to tell you what they used to do 3,000 years ago, and making a YouTube video out of it. Pretty amazing, I must say. And there's a little path down here. Let's go around that and see. And it's more fields actually. Oh, this I think leads to the path that I came from. Right. I would like to live in a house in the middle of a prairie like that. But then ordering takeaway would be a problem. I don't know whether there's broadband internet, and whether I can get Netflix. Well, if there's no broadband internet, I probably cannot get Netflix either. So that would be a slight problem. Right. That's the path I came from. It says "miss you" there, and there are like toys and necklaces used by people. So I'm thinking maybe this is not for good luck. Maybe this is to commemorate the dead. It's a very sombering feeling actually, because obviously these structures were built for the dead, so it is probably these are to commemorate loved ones who have passed away. I don't know actually. So if you know what these are, what that ritual or the tradition means, please let me know in the comments. So as I said, if you know what that tradition is, where people hang things on the tree, as I suspected, it is probably to commemorate or remember their loved ones. So if you know that, if you know what it is, if that is the case, please let me know in the comments. And there are a lot of other similar sites around here. Most of them are not as intact as that. Obviously they're really old, and the other thing is during the medieval period, and most of them have been removed or destroyed because they were considered as pagan structures. So during the medieval period, obviously they were taken apart. And if you want to see some other medieval castles that I've visited in the past, you can click here or here or here, here. somewhere in this vicinity. I'll put up the links so you can check them out. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and until we meet again with a similar video, bye for now.